Hello, Cardinals. It's Thursday, October 7th, and we are adding Investigation 2.3 Mass and Speed to our notebook today. It is the same focus question, so if you want to rewrite that on the right side, you can. Otherwise, you could draw an arrow. It's up to you. Before we start the investigation today, we're going to review what we did on yesterday, 2.2. I know we didn't quite get done with this, but I want to get this in our notebook anyway. But um, one of our objectives was to investigate how force affects the motion of a ball. And remember, a force is a push or pull on an object, and a net force is the force when you add up all the other forces acting on that object. So, good example are right here with the forces on the ball. If force, the left force is pushing this way, and this force is pushing that way, the net force is nothing. The ball doesn't move. If there's a greater force from one side to the other, then the ball is going to move in different directions. So want to get that in our notes on pages 24 and 25, so you're all set. The other thing we did yesterday is we analyzed and interpreted data from our investigation on motion, and you should have done that by creating a data table. All right, you have the different surfaces, either tile or carpet. Most of the classes did different trials, and then your height ramp should have stayed the same. That's a constant. And then you have the distance the ball moved and how long it took to move that way. So kind of some things to think about with interpreting data from an investigation. And the last thing we did is you're going to be drawing a diagram of the forces acting on the tile floor. So, for example, the carpet has a larger force pushing back on the ball. There's more friction with the carpet, so the net force is smaller than this net force, which causes this ball to move faster and longer. For this lesson, 2.3 on mass and speed, we're going to be measuring speed and average speed of an object again. We're going to be doing this a lot. We're going to investigate how forces affect the motion of an object. We're going to plan and carry out that investigation to explore how mass affects it. We're going to be having the steel marble that we used on Wednesday, and we're going to add a very light marble, the exact same size. And then we're going to make a data table comparing those once again. So it's going to be a very similar lab. The only difference is now instead of using two surfaces, we're going to use a light marble and a heavy marble to compare mass and speed. So before we start today, we want to think about how you've learned how forces acting on an object influence motion. Now, the next question becomes, do the characteristics of the ball influence motion? So example, if a ball's mass were larger or smaller, would this affect speed? And that's what we're working on for investigation 2.3. All right, the material list and the safety warnings, and then your to-do list. You need to finish 2.2 investigating forces, and then complete 2-3 mass and speed, all of which are due on Monday. It is a shortened class, so we'll have to work a little faster, but you should be able to get both done today. Hopefully you have a great weekend, and talk to you later.